Welcome to KD Trends. This week we have Jared, co-founder and partner of Genius Tech Group. This company have done some amazing stuff in the last 2 years, have built some of the most crucial and important tools that sports industry in Australia is currently using. Can you just tell me a bit about your journey in the Genius Tech Group? Because I know that you have taken a small prototype to the live, and it's one of the biggest success stories in Melbourne market when it comes to sports tech.
Sure.
So can you just share me your experience, like how you managed the whole process to where you are right now?
Yeah, I mean, it all started with two of us back in the day in 2012, and it's kind of a hobby project to begin with. Started off with a website called Sports IQ. It was literally just a blog with a bit of content and the ability to make tips like you would with footy tips, which was all the rage back then. And we got to the end of 2012, Brett and myself as a fellow co-founder, and we thought, look, we've got this Brownlow product, and we started predicting who we thought was going to get votes in every single game for the Brownlow medal, and we had it up on our website, and we said, it's probably smart just to release this to the world. We're not going to make any money, see how it goes. At least we'll get some traction and try and see what comes of it. So, long story short, we got a bit of traction with the content we're providing around the Brownlow, and we found that people had a niche to engage with sports betting content on the back of that, because they use that information to place bets, be more engaged with the Brownlow medal and stuff like that. So we thought that might be a niche. We had an interesting background ourselves in poker, so we were kind of from that background of sports, data, gambling, and Brett, myself, and Nathan Rothschild as well ended up building a product that served content for heaps of different sports for the first couple of years. Spiraling from there was, I guess, a passion which wasn't present in the initial couple of years of launch, and that passion was to really disrupt the way sport was being delivered around the world to consumers. And we decided just to change our business, completely pivot 2 years or 3 years into that, because at that time by that time we had over 1 million people on Facebook, and a lot of people inboxing us saying, how do I get sports data when I go to certain websites? I can't dig down into the information. The mobile experience on X website's absolutely terrible. Is there something better I can use? And all these problems, we had to brainstorm a solution essentially to try and overcome what were massive problems in this space. So we went through a really, rigorous researching phase to understand what people wanted, and started putting some feelers out there to potential clients to see what they were interested in the product. And it wasn't actually that hard to figure out what we needed to do. It was, horse racing form guides exist. Why isn't there a sports form guide? So we created a product called iSport Genius, which we essentially provide sports content to be integrated into betting client.
How you have secured a client without even building the product. It's actually one of the most important stories for any startup or any new idea. So that's a confidence, and you guys have nailed that.
I guess the lesson there is, in the beginning, don't overcapitalize in that initial investment. A lot of people go out there and build an app for 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever it might be, and hope it works because I've got the best idea in the world, right? But
absolutely. For
us, it was about testing, understanding what people want, going to meetings, getting feedback, iterating on that, working on a solution and presenting it back to them, and eventually getting buy-in.
Can you tell us a bit more about your experience of getting into the US market? Because you've recently were in the media as well. What are the most challenging thing that you have encountered in that journey?
To summarize the challenges, we've got general product, making sure you're fit to scale and fit to market when you actually expand. Make sure it's tested in, ideally, your host nation being Australia. That's always a good testing ground. And then, obviously, when you scale overseas, you need to make sure you're responsive and you've got the right processes intact to make sure that you've got open lines of communication. It's just little things, some little, some big, and some procedurally that you just need to consider before you move into another country.
Can you share some good experiences and some of the positives of that experience? What is good about it, and what are the things that people should know before they want?
We built our team from the ground up in India, so we didn't necessarily contract out. It's our team, and we've made sure we've controlled the entire process of scaling through that region. Our tech's also overseen here, so we've got a CTO here, obviously our product team's here, and we do all the design direction out of here as well. I think having a balanced approach is good, but the positives of obviously having a team there, there's many. They're so hardworking and the standard's exceptional. As long as you make sure, just like any tech company, that you've got code control, quality assurance, you're testing, you're doing stuff with best practice. That doesn't matter where you're doing it around the world. There's so many places you can go.
Basically.
It just comes down to who you hire, what your processes are, and making sure that you just deliver a really high standard.
So that's a wrap from today's KD Trends episode from Jared from Genius Tech Group. We have some really key learnings from the session from Jared, how he had started, how he took it everything lean, how he scaled his business, and some of the things when he went global, what sort of experiences he had, and how people can learn from it and overcome those issues when they are scaling their tech teams or scaling their business or going to the global markets. So that's it for the week.